Hello, gamers, and welcome to Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Oscar424, with occasional guest appearances from my quirky co-hosts, Galahad and Freya, who are sleeping. Shh. Anyway, just want to give you a quick heads up that GDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th through the 12th. That's like in less than 20 days because what you want to do is head to, after the show, visit gamesdonequick.com and check the GDQ 2025 important dates section to learn more. And, if you're crafty, did you know that prize submissions are still open and they will remain open till December 28th? So let's see some of those really heckin' cool prizes that you're going to have. All right, so you might have noticed that we have a certain theme here. It's the guy in the reddish suit, which is not really Santa Claus, but it is Mario. We have 4 awesome Super Mario-based runs coming for you tonight. And look at this list. We have nothing but bangers here. We're going to end with Super Mario 64. For that, we have Super Mario Odyssey. Then we'll also have the new Super Mario Bros. Wii. But right now, we are going OG, old school. The game I share a birth year with. Yeah, but I love it because it's my childhood, and it is going to be Super Mario Brothers Worbless with Eddie. So, Eddie, take it away.
Thank you for having me once again. I'm here with Brandon. Unlike the showrunner here, I was not born in the same year of this game, but
right?
I do know my way around a little bit, and I'm going to be trying my best to make it through a run. I really don't know how it's going to work because this is my first time ever doing anything on a live channel, so I'm hoping that nothing goes terribly wrong. That's what the commentator's for. We can play it off if something goes awry, and then we'll just play it from there. So,
sounds like a plan.
I guess without further ado, we are ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So I think the most important thing of note with this is I'm trying to follow a specific route because there's a fairly consistent route that's been circulating, and I would like to consider it having been popularized by runner JT Knott in 2020. He got a PB with this exact route, and then afterwards I kind of realized, like, hey, this is a pretty cool route. I think it had potential to be a pretty good route anyway, so I started compiling like a lot of data with like consistent movement that I was hoping to do, and Bowser kills that we would do, and like Bowser patterns we would get to make sure it was like as consistent as possible. And I'm going to be trying my best to follow it. People kind of deem it Eddie route, but I just call it 1903 route because I don't want to like steal JT's thunder effectively, because again, his PB did it. His PB is the only reason it's a thing, so I don't want to steal this show. But Brandon also has a PB that just about follows this route all the way through. If you want to talk about that, Brandon.
Yeah, I do. I have a 1904 in this category. I followed most of the route all the way through World 8. I had a little bit of a slip up in 8-2, which cost me the 1903, but I still have a very low 1904, which I'm fairly proud with.
Cool. Right off the bat, I think the first thing you'll notice is that I think a lot of people do know at this point the fastest power-up route is actually in 1-3 and 1-4 respectively. So the first thing you'll notice is we grab power-ups in 1-1 and 1-2, and that's just because there's leniency attached to this route. So I find the grabs easier to do in the first 2 levels, so I do those. And I guess technically you could do them in the latter 2 levels, but I prefer the first 2 just because it's what I'm used to. And it makes these levels a lot easier, way less of a headache. So we do have a pretty cool fight in this level where I'm going to be walking under Bowser's hitbox for exactly 1 frame, and I'm not going to get hit because I might be cheating. Cheated a little bit there, but it's fine. That's pretty normal.
Always looks cool.
So
it's the gray Goomba that gets me right there.
No, yeah, he's not the real Bowser. Don't be fooled. Just like how you also mentioned that this isn't Santa, which I'm kind of disappointed about that. Because if it was, that'd be pretty cool. Santa going around killing Bowser. That would be a pretty interesting game. But we are out of the first world en route. So World 2, I feel like, isn't terribly interesting by comparison, just because I mean, it has the water level, and the water level is extremely boring. So we have about I wouldn't say a minute of dead air, but we got some relaxing time here, so we can catch up. How are you, everyone?
Not too bad. I do have a question for you. Like, what got you into Super Mario Brothers? Because there's so many awesome Mario games, but why the OG?
So, it all kind of, I don't even know when this started technically, but I was a big Wii kid. Like when the Wii came out, I think I got the Wii in 2011, and I was pretty much obsessed with like the whole like virtual console feature in the Wii Shop channel. And we had gotten this game at some point, and it had always been something like, as a kid, I was extremely bad at. Like, I would, like, you know, give it a try, like, get past, like, World 4 or whatever, and then I'd probably, like, give up on 8-2 or something. But after a while, I stumbled upon good old Twitch, which is actually, I'm pretty sure this is where that's being streamed, if we're getting technical.
Yeah.
Back when, I wouldn't say Darwin was in his, I guess you could say Darwin was in his prime, but he had been streaming 456 attempts, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't realize that this game was so prominent, which that's such a weird comment to make because, I mean, anything is speedrunnable, but it just got me thinking because I would always, like, again, I would always try to beat the game, and I would talk about it with my uncle about, like, hey, I got this close to beating the game, and he would, I remember there was one specific combo we had, I was about, again, I think I was like 10, where he was telling me about this, like, the second quest thing where the elevators are shorter and the enemies move faster, all of that. And I was like, dude, I really want to like see if I can get to that. So once I did that, I tried to get comfortable with beating it a few times, and then obviously this game and I fell in love. That's the story. It's touching, I know.
Honestly, yeah, with your uncle? Heck yeah.
I do get to... Oh, sorry. I was about to say, I do get to boast that I am better than him at this game, so...
There we go.
If you're wondering, then I'm the cooler one between us.
Ooh, did you hear that, Uncle? What do you gotta say about that? Is it one of your relatives watching right now? Also, everyone say hi.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of did some trolling because I didn't want anyone to know that I was doing this because I didn't want to bomb and then like have it on display for like my whole family to see. So I told my older sister about it, that I would be playing, but I told her that it was gonna be at 8 instead of 10. It would be like a little bit inconspicuous, which probably wasn't the best idea. But I just, if I fail, I don't want it to be known. I kind of just want to shrug it off, you know.
The fact that you're already at World 3-2 and not even like 6 minutes into this is called not failing. You're doing amazing.
Let's not jinx it. There's still a lot of levels that give me the heebie-jeebies from here on out. So
fair.
Keep our eyes peeled. You also see the age-old story about not grabbing the top of the flagpole here. I do that in levels where, because obviously you can only save or lose times in increments of 0.3 seconds, so with the way that some of these levels are lined up, if you grab the top, you're not fast enough to save an additional increment of 0.3 seconds, so I just grab the bottom to look cooler. There's a lot of things I do in the run for the sole purpose of like trying to look cooler, such as these backwards jumps.
Swag strats are a legitimate thing, and those are very respectable.
Thank you. I guess I don't know like how positive of an attribute this is, but I do often pride myself on my ability to do swag strats through runs, and I think that's kind of become my legacy, which I'm very okay with, to tell you the truth, because, dude, that's like, you know, like the cool kid, like how they... Okay, I don't remember that pattern. I know what I did wrong, but that's embarrassing of me. Sorry, everyone.
You're fine.
What was I even about to say? Yeah, it's like the cool kid in school where like everyone wants to like, you want to dress like him because he's wearing like really cool clothes. That's me. That's the impression that I want to give off my gameplay. Now, obviously, this was not a great example because it crashed and burned already. But you know, we're fine. We're in World 4, and I haven't died yet, so it's better than nothing.
Right?
I guess.
This is true.
It's like I'm impressed with just how precise like you're making some of those jumps and just barely getting over the plants. Just knowing when to throw the fireball and not even on the screen yet, and all of a sudden enemy dead. It's like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, so much of this is just ingrained in my brain. Just like I've done it a billion times. I have it down to a science, which I don't know. I mean, that's like the only thing I can really say about myself. This is my my claim to fame.
You are a true speedrunner, in fact.
I am a speedrunner, that's true.
But yeah, having the fire flower really helps a lot traversing through all these levels. It's a lot more challenging when being small Mario. It makes things a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually did a small only run of this category. I don't think I ever would, just because, like, again, there's a lot of levels that would freak me out. Most notably, mostly this world. And maybe the next, like, 3 probably would freak me out the most. But
Most definitely.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff involved in this game. So
Brandon,
just-
how about you? How's your Mario speedrunning or just game playing world? How'd that come to be? How did you find Eddie, or how did Eddie find you?
It's really funny actually. I started speedrunning this game somewhere around late 2017, and I would like sometimes just post like Super Mario Bros. Speedrunning on my YouTube channel. That's actually kind of how I met Eddie. I met him through YouTube comments actually. And then a couple years later, around 2020, is when we actually connected a little more and we started talking to each other a little more around that time.
Nice.
I was interested to hear that story because I just realized, like, as you were explaining it, I don't think I like ever really asked about this story. I just know, like, how I perceived it is you just like started commenting on some of my videos. Like I didn't really have like a set like time frame in mind. I just know that it started happening at some point.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar for Volcino as well. But shoutouts to him. I don't think he runs this game anymore. I think it was pretty much the same era. It was like late 2017, like you were saying. That I started seeing him, so that's pretty cool.
And I know you run actually a good portion of categories for OG Super Mario Bros. What is your favorite?
Oh, I did not mean to get hit by that hammer. That was actually that's a specific manip that us really cool speedrunners do to make sure that you know, we want to make sure we grab all the power-ups. It's like the scenic route, you know? We just, you know, we're trying to make it more interesting for the viewer. Just don't mind that. It's all part of the process. My favorite category in this game, I would probably do Warpless All-Stars, the SNES remake, is probably my favorite, just because, like, there's a lot more swag that you can put in, because, like, again, more enemies can spawn. And I just really like that aspect about it, because, like, that gives you more opportunity to do, like, really cool enemy bops and cool, like, jumps around and all that, which I think that's pretty cool. Relative to this game, I would probably consider that my favorite, so.
I think somebody in chat relates to the "I meant to do that" %. That is a move.
It happens more than you think, but it's all part of the speedrunning process, so it's fun.
Exactly.
The viewers might find this hard to believe, but I actually just did what am I doing? We're doing the scenic route even more, I guess. What I was gonna say before I got rudely interrupted by Bowser Fire is I did do a specific strat to manipulate the fire bars in this level so that they would be at a good rotation so that I wouldn't get hit. I got hit by something unrelated, which is really awkward of me, but usually it's not that bad. I don't know what I'm doing though.
Bowser got big mad right then.
He realized that I read him like a book, and that was his last ditch effort to like try to stop me, you know? He
clearly did not succeed.
Oh, obviously not, but a little bit cute.
Do you have to take out Bowser each level differently depending on if you have the fire flower or not?
Yeah, so normally what you can do, if you're small, you can just run under and grab the axe, but if you have fire, you can shoot 5 fireballs in most circumstances. There's an asterisk over the 5 because it's case by case sometimes.
Gotcha.
But if you shoot 5 fireballs, you'll kill him and he'll turn into that enemy that you see every world. It's a different enemy each world. I can't really claim my veteran status on this one because I actually don't remember what each enemy is in every world. I think World 6 is blooper, but like don't quote me. But it does save about 2 seconds each time. Assuming that you do the fight fairly well, it'll save about 2 seconds. You can do that.
Yeah, it mainly saves time because when you kill Bowser, it skips the
Oh yeah,
it skips when the bridge
animation
is
of the bridge
crumbling.
collapsing. Yeah. I
Oh,
forgot to
that
mention
makes
that.
sense.
We do have a frame perfect swag jump right here, where we can pass through that coin. That's probably one of my favorite things in the entire run because it makes 0 sense. But
Hey, swag is legit.
dude, I'm one cool cat. Hopefully we don't get a 6 here. I played kind of fast. Yeah, cool. This level I really don't know. I've gotten hit. I'm like way off my route. I'm gonna do safe strats again and hope nothing goes wrong. If I get hit again, this really doesn't give me a good look, but you know, we're just gonna...
I can tell you for a fact, everyone's super impressed in chat right now, so...
Dude, I'm impressed that I haven't reset yet, actually, if we're being honest. This is probably the longest I've ever gone. Right, anyway, it was a blooper, and as you saw, we killed Bowser. There was a bit of lag, because a lot of sprites on the screen, he shot a lot of hammers, and there's the Potoboo and all that. And if you get a lot of lag, it can end up losing a lot of time. Usually it's in increments of 1 frame. So it's not that bad on its own, but if you get multiple, obviously it adds up, and then you're just that guy that gets 18,000 lag frames and loses 4 seconds off of that, and then it's... you start crying.
Meanwhile, I've gotten the game over on like World 4 at this point, and I'm already back to 1-1.
Oh, somebody doesn't know about the continue code, man. You gotta, if you hold A on that on the title screen, once you get back, you start back at the world you game overed in. So
This is very true.
no more lonely
entire
nights in 1-1.
I can move on, finally!
I think this is your chance to beat the game. What do we think?
I'm down.
We're locked in. Anyway, this level might technically be difficult just because some of the patterns you can get are kind of rough. So I wouldn't say that I have to be careful to make sure nothing goes wrong, but I kind of need to make sure like my eyes are on the game and not the game. Usually I'm just like staring off into the abyss, wondering when the level's over because it's so boring, but I don't get to do that this time. Because there's cheeps in the way. I might get hit here. Oh, I got hit here. Okay, well, there's only one more power-up at this point that's like quick to grab, so I think we just have to continue small only. But that does mean there's a cool trick that I can do in this. Well, I could have done it either way, but there's a cool trick I can do in this level. If I get it, then I am 100% coolest speedrunner on planet. Otherwise, I'm just speedrunner on planet. And that's not as cool of a title, so obviously we have to try our best here. But there's a power-up. I'm not going to grab it. I'm a fearless man.
You're too tough.
Mario might not feel the same, but I sure do. Let's see what happens.
I'm watching you like somehow snake through all of those enemies. I'm just going, how? How?
Yeah, I really wish that there was more I could comment on that other than just me having played this game a billion times, but...
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had some advice on that, I would tell you it's just jump at strategic time. I don't know. Explaining things is not my forte. Usually I'm rooted in looking really cool and awesome. And speaking of looking really cool and awesome, I could challenge this Bowser here and jump through his hammers. I don't really want to. Oh, that was a really good pattern too. So like, I could have. As you see, there's the bridge crumbling and then I'm falling. So that's why it's faster to kill him with fire. So
makes sense.
We are at a crossroads here. Again, we can. Well, we have to continue small only either way. But there's a lot of pipe jumps and a lot of like serious tech that we can do in this world. That's very difficult to pull off, and I kind of want to do it so I can show off. Not sure what to think. I mean, obviously, well, we have to do this one, but we got to do this one too. I think. Yeah, surely. You can despawn that Goomba. If you hit the there was a row of 3 Koopas. If you hit the first and the third, it'll despawn the 3rd Goomba, so you can get through that without letting go of right. This pipe jump. I don't know. I'm kind of freezing up here because I'm too busy like trying to make sure nothing goes wrong. The last jump. Easy peasy. So we just got through 8-1. That's probably the hardest level left, I would say. There is some technical info about this where I just saved a free 0.3 seconds over like worst case scenario, but I'm not going to go into detail about that because I don't entirely know the nitty gritty.
I'm just going to point out.
Looking cool is my forte.
Here's the funny thing. I looked at the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. We are literally at 1,337 people. So you are leet. Literally leet.
Wait, hold on. I just remember there's a really cool trick we can do here.
Do it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Oh, he got it.
Wait, what?
Don't really know
Okay,
how to
somebody
explain
explain that.
Okay, so
we got
that
some
trick
fireworks to
is
celebrate.
that trick is called bullet bill glitch. So basically, the way that trick works is, depending on coin toss, Mario can like grab he can clip inside the base the base of the flagpole, and while clipping through the block, it acts as though like Mario has touched the block that is inside the castle. So that's what causes the timer to immediately start clocking down. And
yeah, because you grab it from lower. And it saves, again, if you don't get fireworks on it, if you get it best case scenario, it saves about 2 seconds. But again, as Brandon said about coin toss, it relies on, you have to hit it on the correct frame. Because again, it only checks for enemy collision every other frame, so you have to make sure it's on one frame and not the other, because otherwise you'll stop the bill earlier, and it won't be possible to do that. We're also going to cheat a little bit here. We jumped off nothing. That's pretty normal though. I mean, I just had to I had to turn on my cheats to make sure I wouldn't mess up again.
Oh,
but that's
okay.
pretty normal. That's also not the right pipe you're supposed to go in, but don't tell anyone. They can't reveal my secret. We're also going to go through some fire bars here, but
what?
Just normal things. It's a normal. It's a normal day in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then obviously last room, we got to go all out here to look cool. Oh, we get a forward. Never mind. I was gonna say we could jump through his hammers, but that is time. So.
GG!
We killed Bowser. Unfortunately, we weren't fire, so I'm very small in comparison standing next to Peach, but we still did it. So we get partial credit, I'm sure.
Fine. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely amazing. And you, for someone that said, "Oh well, I don't really usually do these live," you did phenomenally, and chat can 100% agree with that one. But while they are showering you with all the love and all the GGs, keep it going, chat. Let everybody know, where can they find you? What are you playing? What are you looking forward to?
I kind of go through phases where I sometimes I stream, sometimes I don't. Usually if I stream, I'll be playing Super Mario 64, 16 star. I might hop back on that. If you don't see me streaming on Twitch, you can just follow my YouTube. My tag is just EddieCat Gaming. Usually I'll just post random highlights of things if it's some cool trick I did in a game, or maybe it's a full game PB. I don't really do that much on the internet just because I'm kind of shy. So I'm just chilling. Just come say hi. I'll give you a virtual hug if you want.
Yay! And Brandon, same questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I will go live on Twitch doing the 80% category of this game. I've actually taken a break from it. I think I'm gonna be going for low 455 attempts for each. So if my motivation comes back for that, I'll see if I can go live for that. I'm usually live on my Twitch channel, which is the same tag that's on as well. And I sometimes, for my YouTube channel, I sometimes just post tricks that I do within certain games or personal best accomplishments as well. I'm kind of like Eddie. I'm kind of very shy with myself and everything, and trying to expose myself too much on the internet. But I just like playing games as much as everyone does here, and that's what we do.
And I can tell you, there was so much love in chat for both of you. You were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show again. GG's one more time to both Eddie and Brandon for that fantastic way to start off this Mario block.
Thank you once again for having us. I think you can kind of tell once the run kind of died down and I kept getting hit. I was more so focusing on showing off. So.
Right?
whatever looks
it's just cool chill vibes. That's what we do in Express Lane, just doing it very quickly.
Yeah.
But before I send everybody off on a quick hydration break, I just want to remind you that I've seen some subs in chat. I see a Prime sub too, because your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, and any bits that you're going to be cheering on this channel, the GDQ Twitch channel, help support Games Done Quick Hotfix and shows like Express Lane and Awfully Silly that was on earlier. So if you enjoy watching speedruns like these, consider subscribing to the channel, and then you can get access to our super cool emotes and chat with other subscribers during. Hello again, and welcome back to Express Lane, a very special Super Mario Brothers themed episode, and I hope you had your hydration break and you hydrated. Before we get to our next run, I just want to let you know that Back to Black 2025, which is the upgrade to UBAF, will be live from February 6th through the 9th here on Games Done Quick's Twitch channel, and that's going to be benefiting Race Forward. So catch the action and support such an incredible cause. All you have to do is type !BTB in the chat if you want to see that event schedule. They are nothing but bangers, and it's going to be so amazing. And if you want to find out anything else more about the all-black speedrunning community, all you gotta do is type !BAF in chat as well. So while you do that, I'm gonna be heading on over to our next awesome Super Mario Brothers run, which is going to be Gasping Muffin running the new Super Mario Brothers Wii Any %. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to do this. I'm joined by Alien and Skippy on commentary. And I don't really know what else to say, honestly. I mean, I feel like people know what this game is. It was my childhood. The estimate should be around, it's around half an hour, but really this should be around 25 minutes if all things go well. I don't think I really have much else to say.
All right.
Before we go. Just gonna count down from 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Let's go.
Thank you. All right.
I guess I'm starting off with 1-1. So in 1-1 here, pretty simple, straightforward level. We're going to be grabbing the propeller mushroom with, if anybody knows any other new Soup games, there is one distinct power-up usually that you use throughout most of the run, and in any % in this game, it is the propeller mushroom. We basically use it through pretty much the entire run. We do lose it in a little bit later in the run, but then gain it back before the end to also use it then. But yeah, it's just basically the staple of speedrunning in this game. So yeah, gonna be grabbing it. Not too much more to say about this level other than you just grab the prop and then, yeah, that's about it.
That being said, the propeller suit is very important, like he said. So getting hit like anywhere, basically beyond 5-3 is pretty bad. So hopefully we won't see any damage taken.
Yeah, that is the thing about this game is like this category specifically is it doesn't really have many backups. So basically in the middle of the run, if you lose your propeller, then it's basically a reset if you're on the higher end of the leaderboard. So yeah, that is kind of what sucks about this category. But yeah, so you want to keep your propeller as long as you can.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those middle levels are pretty prop dependent. Like 5 tower and 5-4. If you don't have it, you're gonna lose a lot of time. So, luckily there's a backup one you can get in 5-3. You go a little bit out of your way to get it, but all things said and done, I shouldn't be taking damage outside of 8-1, where that'll be intentional, and you'll see why.
But yeah, 1-2 done. Didn't say anything about it, but. It's another pretty straightforward level. We go through 3 levels in World 1, and then we take the cannon over to World 5, and then, yeah, but these levels aren't too bad. 1-2, you basically just go straight. You grab a star, and that's the end of that. 1-3, similar story. There
Even
is a little
simpler.
bit of... Yeah, tiny bit of RNG at the start, but you can avoid it with a simple trick. A little triple jump here, so not too bad there. And then you just do a somewhat tight jump at the end to get to the secret exit, but yeah, other than that, it's a pretty straightforward, simple level.
Yeah.
You also see Muffin sliding down slopes and stuff, because sliding down slopes, anything gentler than 45 degrees, I think, is faster. So you'll be seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
That was a tight jump.
Thanks. I'd imagine a lot of people watching this may have seen the Summoning Salt video a couple of years ago about this game. Things have changed a little bit since then. For the most part, it's pretty similar. So if you kind of remember some stuff from that, you know, you got a good idea of what the run's about. But there's a few new cool tricks that have been found since then that save a lot of time. And the world record now is actually like 17 seconds lower, I think now. Maybe even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's around... I think it's about 17 to 18 seconds.
So,
yeah. Without loads.
Yeah, right. Because, he ended the video saying that someday we might hear about a sub 22-minute time. And, you know, you got that now.
Yeah, pretty, by a substantial margin, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing that was kind of just touched on was loads, because loads in this game vary very significantly depending on what you have. Like sometimes your loads can be like 2 minutes and 5 seconds of loads throughout the entire run, and on some ways it can be up to 230. Like Muffin had a run which was like 227 or something in any percent. So we take out loads for any run under 25 minutes just because you know, you could lose so much time by that. So yeah, any run under 25 minutes gets the loads taken out. So yeah, world record's 21:49, right? And then without loads, it's like a 23, like 53 or something. But yeah, that's another big part of the game.
Yep. So World 5 is where it starts to get a bit more involved, I guess. You know, 5.1 I think has kind of become a bit of a harder level than it used to be.
Yeah, you'll see Muffin grab the star here. Normally, or back then, we used to ground pound that block and go underneath, but I don't know when. A few months ago, I think. It was
A couple months ago, probably 6 or 7.
It's faster to grab it from the top.
It seems like a whole 0.1, you know? No, it's less than that, I think, right? I actually don't know how much it is.
I think it's actually a decent amount.
Oh. Sorry, I'm a Mario Wii old head. I only know strats from like 2019 and beyond.
I mean, it's not a ton, but it's a good amount.
It's definitely significant enough to go for.
Yeah.
Also, you'll see Muffin like kicking off those pipes because it's around half a second faster to do that. Just like small things like that add up over the course of the run. So you'll see stuff like that.
Also, neutral vines in 5.1. If you if you hold neutral while you're jumping off a vine, you get a lot more momentum. So another cool little thing.
I will also say, coming up right here, this piranha fight has changed a lot. You used to basically just try and jump into them normally, but we do a little something different now. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, a little spin input.
It's a little scary.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't lose props, so you know.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping I could get a 94 in game time there because it's been pretty consistent for me, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
That still looked amazing, though.
Yeah, it still wasn't that bad. But now we got 5.3, which you saw a split path between 5.2 and 5.3. 5.3 is about faster by, I think, 3 to 4 seconds. Most beginners tend to do 5.2 because it is a lot easier. 5.3 isn't too bad, but with the current strats, especially for top runners, it's pretty hard. It's definitely reset a decent amount in attempts.
You will also see him like slow down intentionally. He slows down intentionally because of the brambles. You have to give him time to move out of the way. Like right here.
There's a weird cell
Oh
strat.
shoot! Okay.
Oh.
We're good. Yeah, that's what was intentional, by the way.
Yeah.
Recently, we found that you can actually never slow down in this level with like frame perfect triple jumps or something. I don't know. I haven't.
Oh yeah.
Really looked into it
Shoutouts
much,
to NM.
Yeah, if you do like a crouch triple, you can like barely land on the brambles at some points and jump off them instead of having to slow down. It is like insanely difficult though, and it's definitely not run viable.
Not yet, at least.
Well, you could, but you'd be an idiot to do so.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future when the world record is like super optimal, but for now, not really.
Yeah.
Well, I will say there's actually a quick question in chat that a couple people are burning to know. What is your controller of preference for this game?
Oh man, I
yeah.
forgot to mention that. I use a nunchuck. I'm probably one of the only people.
What?
Yeah. That's how I played it as a kid. And then when I decided to start speedrunning this game, I don't know, I just stuck with it.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
I was impressed before. I am more impressed now. That is
Nice.
Oh wow.
So yeah, basically he's like probably one of the only runners that runs on nunchuck. Also, he just got one of like the hardest tricks in the run, which is 556, which is 5 towers of cycle base level, and that is the hardest cycle to get. And yeah, pretty awesome. But yeah, the nunchuck thing. We have had a couple of nunchuck runners in the past, but I think he is maybe the only current runner that uses it. There might be another one that I'm not thinking of.
He definitely has the fastest run.
Yeah, he definitely is the best player with nunchuck.
Yeah, chat's kind of losing it right now as soon as you said that.
Yeah, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I mean, I don't know any other way. So,
Nunchuck is the way of life here.
Yeah, have you tried turning the Wiimote sideways?
no.
I mean, I've tried nunchuck also in the past, but it's just I can't get used to it for some reason.
So it's got a lot of obvious downsides. It's obviously not the normal choice for a 2D game, but I don't know. I think there's some good parts about it. I think the fact that it's kind of separate from the rest of the Wiimote, where I need to do a lot of motion controls. I think that really helps. But I'm sure some people disagree.
All right, so Muffin's
All
going
right.
to try a skip that saves a lot of time. It's called 5-4 skip. And it kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, so he's gonna be not using the wrap because who really wants to use the wrap here? Maybe do some tight movement to try and skip. Makes it through, a little tight, but I think he might have it here. And
Not be
nice.
too soon.
Yep, there we go.
What?
Very clean there. A little bit of a hiccup, but yeah, that was super clean still. That saves about 1 minute and 20. I think a little bit more done optimally, like perfectly. With bombful is the strat it's called. But yeah, that was still really good for just a normal 5-4 skip.
Yeah, I think the thing with it is, when you start running the game, it's definitely one of the hardest things you're going to want to do because it just saves so much time. And so it's going to be one of the first things you kind of tackle. And when you're doing that, it's super hard. But once you play it for long enough, it kind of just feels like any other level, I guess. Like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's like it's a normal level, except instead of jumping, you're just shaking. I don't know.
It's just ingrained in every single Mario Wii runner's mind.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Nope, walls are getting a little bit sticky there. Got some Elmer's glue on there, but we're good.
Yeah, Mario likes to stick on the walls like that. It's kind of hard to get off of them.
Fair. Yeah, this level's not too bad. 5 Ghost House. We're going to be grabbing the secret exit here to take the cannon to World 8, and that is where it's a little bit spicier.
Yeah.
But, yep, should be fun.
World 8's one of the biggest choke points, apart from maybe like 5-4 and 5 tower. Like, levels like 8-2 and 8 airship are big choke points in the run.
And you'll see
also
why.
8 Castle.
Yeah.
8 Castle's become a pretty big one over the last year, which you will see when it happens. It is pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, if anything convinces Salt to make a new video about this game, it'd probably be 8 Castle and just the new things there.
Ooh.
Definitely. All right, World 8 time. Unlike NSMB, unlike New Super Mario Bros. 2, the cannon levels in this game are very boring, very bland. Just like a strip of land with the cannon next to it. But yeah, I guess you don't really need much more than that. But World 8 now. We got 5 pretty difficult levels. There's 2 that are on the easier side, but all of them are still pretty difficult.
8-1 isn't too bad, but there are a few spots you can mess up. But hopefully none of that happens.
It is a cool looking level, I'll say that. It looks like there's a lot of RNG, and there is a bit, but if you do it fast enough, it doesn't actually affect you.
Yeah, if you're good at the game, then these fireballs or meatballs. Some people like to call them. They don't. They don't.
They
Really
do look
bother
kind of
me
good.
that much. Meatballs for Italian corner.
Throw a little marinara on there.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a strike come up called 8-1 triple, where he will be intentionally losing his propeller. It looks a lot harder than it actually is. Not to say it's not hard, but it's definitely another one of those things for like beginners. It's a lot harder, but then once you like,
Oh my god.
No.
Oh,
Just
I'm not talking anymore.
Yeah, that.
I have no words. I just jumped like a frame too early, I guess. I don't know. I probably should have equipped mushroom.
I don't think that's too bad.
that's-
Yeah, he got the checkpoint. That's honestly not that big of a time loss.
Yeah, that's not the worst place to die. Really isn't.
Yeah. Definitely could have been a lot worse, but yeah.
Because again, I don't really
Back
need
up.
prop anymore, so
Yeah, that's probably one of the best places you could die in the run for sure.
okay, that didn't.
Oh my god, that almost worked.
Tried a little backup, almost worked, but now we gotta wait a little bit. The only thing that's scary about backing up here is like the meteors are now kind of like random, so we gotta like watch out for those. And
Yeah.
though.
Good backup.
nice.
Yeah, honestly, I'm happy that I didn't make any kind of similar mistake earlier in the run. Like
I see it
I made
coming.
it this far without dying. I'll take it.
I see a comment chat. Better than dying in World 5, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like 5-4 for sure is not fun to die in.
Man, that's like an easy 2 minutes. Maybe not that much, but
It's close. But now we got 8-2, which is a
One of
level
my
that we'll be
favorites.
playing completely small. Basically, playing as small Mario is easier, or it's faster and also easier, basically. So, because you gotta fit into like some tight areas. So, yeah, but it is a little scary though, because we got the spike balls and Goombas and stuff jumping up. So playing with small Mario is definitely scary. That's why a lot of beginner runners tend to grab the checkpoint, which makes sense because grabbing the checkpoint really doesn't even lose that much, because in the next level you grab mushroom back, so yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, most top runners just don't grab the halfway. Just play small.
also
What?
8-2 is easily the most tech heavy level in the run. Just like simply on Mario's movement alone.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot for sure.
Yeah, you've seen me do a lot of crouch jumps. Those actually reset your momentum on these fast rolling hills. Super useful in this room.
Yeah, like there.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
Shout out to
Aztecs for that
Aztecs.
one.
Yep.
Shoutouts to Uvid.
Yeah, shouts to Uvid for being the pioneer of 8-2 and definitely getting a really good IGT in his PB. But yeah, shout out to Aztecs for the strat
417.
finding. 423 still pretty solid. But yeah, 8-2 has come a long way, and even the last couple of years, like before, like top runs would be getting like 424, 425, and that would be like good enough for them. But now we're seeing like 427, 420, like 8. It's like insane. But yeah, now we can all take a nap because 8-7's here.
Hey, there's some pretty interesting things here.
Oh yeah, we actually have a pretty insane strat coming up that he will hopefully pull off.
So yeah, this is basically a semi-auto scroller. It's not like a actual auto scroller, but it's like you have to wait for this regardless. So, but you'd think it'd be like easy to like optimize this level, but it's actually really, really hard to optimize this level.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Let's see.
Jumping off these bone coasters.
Yes.
Yeah, that was close, I'm not gonna lie.
We like to call that the Muffin Triple, pioneered by the man himself, Muffin. So, pretty awesome strat. It's pretty
Saves
hard.
0.2.
Saves 0.2 seconds. If you don't do it, you're just a little bit of a fraud. But yeah, the rest of the level is not too bad. Most optimization is just getting off of like the bone coasters here at the end, as you can see. But other than that, it's not too much.
Seeing a good amount of love in chat for the Muffin Triple.
Yeah, it's a community favorite for sure.
Pretty wholesome moment.
I'm just enjoying how the mushroom is along for the ride.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, isn't it?
He's enjoying himself.
It also serves as a backup for this if you miss the reg coins.
Yeah, this
I gotcha.
this fire flower is actually pretty. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, the very end of that bone coaster can like reset all your momentum you get off of it. So
Yeah, it's
I don't know why
pretty
that happens.
sketchy. But the fire flower is recently found to be a little bit faster because when you shoot a fireball, it like I don't actually know what it does to your momentum, but
it increases your speed off of a wall kick.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It just gets you up to max. It just gets you up to max speed faster, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how much that says. I think it's like, what, a frame? No.
I don't know. It's not much, but I think it's
not
worth
much,
doing.
but
It's
you know,
cool.
it's definitely worth it if you're like
Yeah.
up there in the leaderboard for sure. All right, coming up on the last two levels here. 8 airship is the first one. This is probably one of the, if not the biggest reset point for top runners based on the strat in the fight of Bowser Jr. at the end. And also the level itself is very difficult too. Oh my god. Almost got crushed right
That's
Good thing
fine.
about fire.
Yeah,
It's a good thing we got fire, yeah.
that's the other benefit to picking up the fire flower. There is you kind of have a little bit of leniency for some weird stuff.
Makes sense.
Pretty good.
Now we just wait for this. It is possible to skip this barely in TAS. TAS only, absolutely. You need the penguin power up. But in multiplayer, actually, you can skip it. Which I do want to shout out because I'm a big fan of multiplayer. I think it needs more love. There's some really cool things you can do there, and the multiplayer world record's actually faster than the single player 90% world record right now for the first time ever. So
Yeah, multiplayer is a really cool one to watch. But yeah, coming up we have the Bowser Jr. fight. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, are the maps the same between single and multiplayer?
yep, it's all the same levels,
Same round,
everything
same
like
round.
that. But what it does allow you to do is basically that second player can have different power-ups. And so it allows you to have Ice Flower, and you can kind of cycle between the two and do some new strats like that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Alright,
we got
so-
Bombless now. This is a pretty big trick. Basically, we're going to be trying to hit Bowser Jr. without ground pounding the spike balls that he drops, the bombs. And if you do it completely optimally, it saves like 23 seconds, I believe.
Cool.
Ooh, we got a little hit there.
Ooh.
But yeah, doing it without a setup is actually pretty hard, but it looks like you got a nice little hit there.
Yeah, when this
Kinda
first got
hard to
discovered,
get out.
like people thought it was luck, and just like people just prayed they got it. But nowadays it's just kind of like a semi-hard strat.
With the setup, I think it's a couple frame window,
Something
one or two.
like
I don't know.
that.
It's never been like completely like timed, but yeah, something like that. It is a very hard trick though, especially after near the end of the run.
it depends on where you spin and jump, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes knowing this game with the
Gotcha.
motion controls, like can sometimes give you like a little bit of a late spin, a little bit of an early one. So it's just that also adds to the hardness of it as well.
It's definitely it really can't be treated like other like frame perfect tricks in other games, just because it's not really how like difficult tricks in this game work. Just it is a lot of the fact that the motion controls themselves aren't always accurate. They're pretty hard to time properly, and so you also need to be able to basically line up the other ones just based off how the spin goes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you'll see that in the Bowser fight.
Yeah.
So a castle. This level is also very difficult. A new strat was recently discovered, or not recently, I guess. It's been about over a year now at the end during the fight. But yeah, the level itself is also very difficult. Definitely a lot of tight movement around these fireballs and fire bars. But yeah, hopefully we will be seeing the, I guess, newest 80% strat at the end. It is pretty difficult to pull off though. Another like pretty small frame window. But yeah. Got a little bit of an auto scroller here. Not sure why they added this. I guess they just wanted to have a little bit of extra pizzazz in the game.
I mean, there's no way anyone could die here in a run, especially not a showcase type thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever done that before, have they, Skippy?
Yeah.
I feel like there is a side story that two of you are kind of happy to tell and one is not.
Yeah, I don't think Skippy ever wants to tell that ever. But yeah, this room is not too bad. There we go. 608, pretty good. Yeah, moving into the corridor. A little bit of RNG with these fireballs coming up. In another game, New Super Mario Bros. U, actually these fireballs aren't RNG, but in this one they're just random for some reason. Not sure why, but it adds a little bit.
There's a couple patterns that really don't work, but that one was fine.
Yeah, most of them you can just like go through fine, but some of them you have to do a small turn back, which isn't terrible, but
That's like the only bit of RNG besides that and like some Rana shenanigans in World 5.
wow, guys, the game is definitely over.
Yep. We saved Peach.
Absolutely.
GG.
Absolutely.
That was actually the new strat. You just float over Bowser.
Yeah, that was a new strat we thought of after like 14 years of this game being out.
Yeah, it took us a decade and a half to figure that one out.
But yeah, he's gonna be trying a strat coming up that we call the meal.
It's pretty game breaking.
Yeah, I'll let it speak for itself if he gets it.
That may have been late.
No, that's good.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And there we go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Gets on top of the castle and runs across, saving over I think 8 to 10 seconds in 90%. But yeah,
Closer
it
to,
is
like, 90 or
a
something like that.
pretty insane strat.
Yeah. It's called a meal because it makes escape a lot faster, you know?
Yep, that is the acronym. But yeah, it is a really insane strat found by the great taskers of this game. So shout out to them. And that is time.
Time.
GG's.
Jeez.
526 IGT, man. That is a really, really
Yeah,
good IGT.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that was honestly a great run. GG's.
That was absolutely
Yeah, GG's.
amazing.
Definitely better than I expected to do, honestly.
That was really good.
Just casually rock the game, that's all. Yeah, that.
Another day in the
Right.
office.
Oh my goodness. That was, Lisa, that was absolutely fantastic to watch. Chat is currently losing their minds, rightfully so. I'm still in awe about that, the meal skip. That was just cool. But while we are watching the end, please take your time to give your shout outs. Who are you? Where can people find you? What are you playing? If there's a community you want to shout out, the floor is all yours.
Well, honestly, I'm not really speedrunning, doing as much, at least streaming as I used to. But if you want, you can follow me at Gasping Muffin on Twitch. Pretty straightforward. Make sure to follow Alien and Skippy too. This was fun. I'm glad they were able to do this with me, and really just shout out the community. You know, there's a lot of really cool people who run this game. Pretty active. Lots of fun people. You know, this game was everybody's childhood. Yeah, I don't really know if I have much more to say than that. Alien Skippy, you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having us. It was a great time, and I also want to give a huge shout out to the taskers of this community because like they are easily some of the best taskers like ever. Shout out to Roadkill, Cryptic, Squash, and there's definitely some more smaller ones that I can't think of right now. But yeah, they are the main reason that so many strats get found in this game, and the tasks of this game, like especially the recent 80% task, it is like phenomenal. So I'd go check it out if you like stuff like that. And also a current 100% task is in the works. So yeah, it's just they're great. I just wanted to mention them real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, my thoughts exactly.
Like, in summary, yes.
Glad we're on the same page.
No, that was so cool to watch. GG's, that absolutely amazing, fantastic commentary. Chat, one more time, GG's to the whole crew and Gatsby Muffin's run of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, any percent. And yeah, no, he wasn't kidding. It'd be about 25 minutes and 25:29 for RTA. So, all right, it is break time once more, but I have a job for you since it is another day in the office. What I want you to do, if you haven't already, is to head over to Discord and join the official GDQ Discord, and you can get this really snazzy hotfix roll. And with that roll, you can keep tabs on all of the upcoming. Hello and welcome back, gamers, to Express Lane. We are having a wonderful, wonderful outing with Super Mario Brothers and all of the super fun games related to it. Now, I hope you did check out the Discord. I saw quite a few people putting it in chat. Awesome. I love all of you. I have to say, just FYI, that we have another marathon to talk about, and that is GDQ's next All Women and Femmes speedrunning event, which is Frost Fatales 2025, will be live from March 9th through the 16th. And it's going to be benefiting the National Women's Law Center. So head on over later. Stay here because it's a really cool run coming up. But later, visit gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info on the event. And it's going to be, again, nothing but bangers. Speaking of nothing but bangers, we have traveled to space, and as I've found out from our runner, we've done some wonderful, wild, and cool things with the timer. So I'm going to let Lucid talk about it in this fantastic Super Mario Odyssey any percent run. So Lucid, take it away.
All right. What's up, guys? I'm Lucid. Thank you guys for giving me your screens for hopefully under an hour. I'm joined by my good friend Psionic.
Hello, everybody. My name's Psionic.
And so I'm going to be starting the timer on this A-press, on this menu on the Switch, and this will all make sense in about 5 to 6 minutes into the run in Sand Kingdom. And I'll explain that when it gets there. But I'm ready to go. If we're ready to count down.
Absolutely.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So I guess I'll just generally explain the game a little bit, or just like the format of the game for those who maybe have not played it. Essentially, there are 14 different kingdoms we're going to traverse in this run. Each has some different kind of either moon count requirement or a boss fight. And so essentially, this run, we're just going to be collecting the minimum amount of moons we need to progress through each kingdom. And then at the end, we'll fight Bowser, go through a little escape sequence, and hopefully be good to go. I guess the first thing I'll explain as I'm about to hit A in about 3, 2, 1, go. I guess the first thing I'll explain is the first kind of input I'll do. I'm going to be doing what's called a spin pound. You're going to see them a lot throughout this run. It basically is the quickest way to gain speed from just standstill. You do it by spinning your stick twice all the way around, and it does a spin, and it allows you to do an instant ground pound, and you can ground pound into a roll in this game, and rolling is the fastest way of moving Mario on the ground. So that is going to be a lot of what we're doing, as you just saw right there. We're going to be doing that a lot this run. I'm also excited because Odyssey is not a stranger to GDQ events, but I think it's been about a year or so since any percent has been shown. So I have hopefully a few really cool stuff to show you guys. One in like literally 15 seconds when we enter this door here.
All right.
Yeah, it's called hydrophobia.
And you'll hopefully see why. Yeah, Cappy just goes flying.
What? Okay.
So I don't actually, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know exactly how that trick works at all.
Yeah, my best guess is that, the block is like moving up and down really fast, and the velocity of the block actually affects the velocity of Cappy. So
So cool.
All right, so we're almost done with Cap here. Just gotta clean up this Hopper fight, which is gonna be seeing him again later in the game. There are 4 brutal boss fights that we see in this run. We'll see one, or actually no, one of them we will not see, but you'll see, or no, 2 of them we won't see actually. You'll see Topper again near the end of the run, as well as Harriet. But yeah, that's the first kingdom done. And we're gonna be kind of sweating a little bit because Cascade, the next kingdom, has a very difficult trick that I'm gonna go for that it gets a little dicey, especially with how the mechanic with the timer works that I mentioned earlier. Because we need to be on a certain cycle. Oh, that was interesting. We need to go fast enough in the first 5 to 6 minutes of this run in order for a certain trick to be implemented with that timer. So I'm going to be going for something called Dino Skip Skip. If Sonic, if you want to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so normally you go up on this little ramp here, and then you go get the dino, and then you jump on a trampoline to get to the Madame Brugge fight. But here, what Luce is going to do is he's going to jump on this little piece of floor on this wall right there, and wall jump off this rib cage, and then yeah, we're up here. So and now we can fight the brute.
Yeah, so the way you're supposed to do it like casually is you have to go you have to break these you have to break this like wall with a chain chomp and reveal the 2D section that you're supposed to climb up, and it's very slow, not very optimal. So for a long time, Dino Skip, which Sonic mentioned, was kind of the norm, but at a top level, that trick that I just did, Dino Skip Skip, has kind of become the norm, but it's very difficult and definitely frustrating if you're doing attempts. You can very easily reset on that over and over. But we're through. Yeah. Perfect. I also collected some coins during that Madame Brutal fight, as I kind of glossed over that. But coins are important because we're going to be buying 3 shop moons in the run, which requires 100 coins each to buy. So we're going to need at least 300 coins by Luncheon Kingdom. So we only need 1 more moon to leave Cascade, and I'm going to do something completely normal, hopefully, that isn't crazy. Yeah, so I'm just collecting this moon and not clipping. Oh, I clipped to the ceiling. Oop, my bad.
Normal casual clips. That's fine.
Yeah, so that is what is known as a moon clip. We're to be seeing that a lot in this run. It's one of the main ways of clipping through walls in this game. Essentially, when a moon is active, you can do either backflip, side flip, triple jump. It depends on the situation, but what that does is it rotates Mario's body, and it kind of, when you collect the moon, it clips you out of bounds. And usually the game would kind of correct that and put you back in bounds, but because the moon animation happens, it kind of stops that process. And so you're able to just kind of clip through walls, and it's pretty cool. The only problem is you really only get 1 shot at it per clip. So if I miss any along this run, I won't be able to like retry or anything. So hopefully I'll be perfect on those. But going to Sand Kingdom, you're about to see why we started our timer 43 seconds early. I'm going to plant this seed here and go into this room here. And we're going to collect a quick moon in here. And then go ahead and dip back out. And the seed is grown and it has a moon in it. Now, if you haven't played the game, that might not be significant, but how seeds work in this game is you plant them and it takes 20 minutes of real time for the seed to grow. We don't have 20 minutes, obviously. So what I did at the start of the run is I set my timer at a very specific point, like a very specific date and time, to where daylight saving times will occur as I enter that room that I entered after planting the seed. And so the clock strikes forward an hour, and so the seed instantly grows once I exit the room.
That is genius.
Yeah,
An interesting thing about that, is that when daylight savings time occurs when you're outside, the seed will kind of like grow like pretty much instantaneously, but it'll grow like boop, 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 like that. It'll make weird sounds like that.
It's true.
So if you enter the room first, the seed will be grown immediately.
Gosh. Like, I'm actually also impressed that, like, does the date to the year even matter, or just anything where daylight savings time shifts?
So yeah, any year that has daylight savings time works. I like to use 2004 because it's April 4th, 2004, and it just kind of looks cool. And it's like the only one that happens in April. So that's the one I go with.
A man of culture, I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. So we got a few more moons to get in sand. I'm going to be doing one more clip later in the run, or later in this kingdom, rather. It's called Platform Clip. Basically, I'm going to be manipulating my camera because there's a platform that is on a cycle that I can manipulate by either looking at the camera, having it on screen, or looking at the platform on screen or off screen. And we're going to use that to our advantage here. That's the platform in the distance right there. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait a little bit because it's a little slow. I'm going to head on over there. And with the cap throw, you just clip right through. And you're able to grab this moon and then stay out of bounds. And then you're able to go straight into the Sphinx room. You don't need to talk to the Sphinx and do his little quiz or anything. You just get to go right through.
Yeah, so throughout that whole kingdom, Lucid was basically kind of, not the whole kingdom, but like around the second half of the kingdom, he was like kind of manipulating his camera so that that platform would be in the correct spot when he got there for the platform, for the clip.
I also accidentally glossed over a strat I did midway through. It was called Reverse Dram. It's an insanely difficult strat. I think maybe 3 runners do it. There's a normal version of the strat. It's a capture warp where essentially it happens a few times throughout the run. You essentially throw Cappy somewhere and you can hold him by pressing the Y or X button and holding it. And you throw him somewhere, and then with Mario, you move somewhere else. So in this case, I threw Cappy, and then dove into an alcove to collect the moon. And then after I collected the moon, I shook Cappy, and I captured a bullet bill that was up high that allowed me to avoid having to like platform back up to where that bullet bill was. And you'll hopefully see that a few more times throughout the run. But now we're going into Lake Kingdom. Lake Kingdom's gonna have another pretty cool moon clip near the beginning here. Hopefully I can get it, but this one's a little bit different. I need to do a triple jump for it, and these ones that require a triple jump are way more precise. Like, you only get a few frames of leniency. Oh, I'm in the water. So we'll see if I can get it. I'm lining up for it right now. And I think that's good.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Nice.
So what I did there is I collected the moon while clipping out of bounds, and then I did some movement out of bounds to up throw and hit a checkpoint. Then went back inbounds to collect this moon that you usually have to swim through some tunnels for. And then I'm going to warp back up here. And this moon, you're normally not able to collect at this point of the game. There's like paintings that you're supposed to travel through in the post game to collect this moon. But because I was able to grab that checkpoint out of bounds, I can just teleport directly to where that moon is. And now we're just gonna do a little cheap swimming. Nothing too crazy. I love the capture in this game. It's obviously a very major mechanic. And Cheap Cheeps are definitely a fun one. Makes water movement a lot easier, a lot more fluid, which is great.
Now,
They're very cute.
I got a question for pretty much both of you. Is it hard to really learn the movement tech with Odyssey? I mean, like you have both Odyssey, Super Mario 64. There's so much involvement in the movement that you're doing the entire time. Like how hard was that to really get a grasp on?
Yeah, so the phrase that perfectly sums up Odyssey is easy to learn, hard to master. There's a lot of both resources for newer runners and just like strats that don't require like a full complexity of the moveset and it's a very easy game to get into. But at the same time, there is an insanely high skill ceiling. And learning some of the like most intricate movement and like the most intricate tricks, it's insanely difficult, but it's also very cool to see, like, because top level movement basically utilizes every single like niche aspect of the game's mechanics and Mario's movement. So like once you get an understanding of it, it's really cool to watch.
Okay.
And there's a lot of strats in this game that, like, if you miss it, like, it doesn't lose too much time, but like they kind of add up, and like a lot of these are like, you know, 1 frame, like 2 frame tricks. Like there's a few of those in this kingdom actually.
Yes. Wooded Kingdom is kind of generally considered the hardest kingdom in the game. Just lots of in-depth movement, and also what I would argue the hardest trick that is currently done in runs happens in this kingdom. I will do my best to get it. It's another triple jump moon clip, but this one is even harder than the lake one, so I will do my best. But in a bit, you're going to see a much easier moon clip that has some pretty cool implications. So I'm gonna roll into this little tunnel right here. I'm gonna triple jump up. There's a nut right here, and I'm gonna just do another moon clip right here. Should be good. And then we're gonna go out of bounds. Collect this moon out of bounds. Then we're gonna do some more out of bounds platforming, get up here. We're gonna climb this ramp. Normally, you're not supposed to be in this like section of the kingdom yet. You're supposed to beat Spewart, and then it opens up a whole different path you can go down to end up here. But because we can go out of bounds, we can get up here early, and there's supposed to be rocket flowers for that ramp that you take up. But you're able to just kind of spam the jump button and just like climb up the ramp. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's just how it is. And then this is the super hard clip. Hopefully I can get it.
It's called Maze Clip.
Okay. I didn't get it. So what's supposed to happen there is you do another moon clip and you get to avoid all this movement that I'm about to do.
Gotcha.
And you end up being able to get directly to this nut here. It saves about 7 seconds, so it's not like a super detrimental mistake. But it's a really difficult one, so of course I wanted to try and get it, but it is all good.
Yeah, and that strat took a very long time to figure out how to do. So It's really difficult, like very, very difficult.
Actually, speaking of difficulty, there's a question in chat asking, what would you say is the hardest moon in this run?
Ooh. The hardest moon. Interesting. I know, it's tough to say because it's not even necessarily the moons themselves that are difficult. Just some require some pretty difficult movement or even like a trick to get through them. I will say in this run, I would argue maybe it's one in Snow Kingdom that we kind of get in an unorthodox way by clipping through a wall. I will showcase that when we get there. But we're almost done with Wooded. Only 3 moons left. We're gonna go up here and grab this nut real fast. And then we're actually gonna head into a sub area for the first time, which you don't get to see a lot of in this run, but they're super fun. Every sub area kind of has a different mechanic, and there's 2 moons in each one, so they can be fast if, you know, the circumstances are right. And I'm gonna go for one final moon clip here. I'm gonna try, and this one you're kind of able to retry. I'm gonna see if I can get it. There we go. Okay, so that's another triple jump clip. And this one allows you to just clip through this wall and skip the entire bottom half of that sub area, which is, it's definitely a really annoying sub area. So it's nice to get the clip when you can get it. And yeah, thankfully that's the hardest kingdom done. So it's gonna be smooth sailing from here, I think.
Clearly.
If it's smooth sailing, I'm going to put you on the spot here because I'm looking at your speedrun.com profile. I see some absolutely amazing times and runs, and see a lot of Super Mario, some Super Mario 64, some Super Mario Odyssey. And then I see SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake.
Yeah.
How did that one slide in there?
So I took a break from speedrunning when I entered college about 3 years ago, and I had no intentions of ever coming back. But I played a bunch of SpongeBob games as a kid. I played the movie game. I played Battle for Bikini Bottom. So when that game came out, me and a bunch of other Odyssey runners, shout out Tyron18, Chaos Pringle, Acrid031, we all kind of hopped on that game at the same time, and because that was really the first experience I had with like speedrunning a game from day one. So it was really fun to do that and get my time down in that game. And that's honestly the game that got me back into this game after I really thought I would never touch it again. So game has a special place in my heart for sure.
That is so cool.
He just distinctly, secretly just did a really pretty difficult strat here. It's called Cloud Hint Art. So basically, in the middle of this Bowser fight, he just spin pounded a Mario Hint Art that gives you, I believe it's 250 coins. So he doesn't have to get coins later.
Yeah, so they added these hint arts like maybe, I don't remember, a few months into the game's release, and they're just randomly found throughout the kingdoms, and they give you 200 coins if you're able to get them. So that one is the most optimal one to get because you can do it and theoretically not lose any time in the cloud fight, which is really awesome. And now we're in Lost, which a lot of people love Lost because, you know, you do some cutscenes, collect 10 moons, and just leave in the matter of like 2 minutes. As you can see, like we're getting these moons like
back to
back, like very little downtime at all, which is it's pretty awesome. Another thing we did in this kingdom at the beginning is we did a jump to kind of access a part of the kingdom early. As you can see, I just triggered Klepto. Normally what happens in this kingdom is Klepto will steal your hat and you have to kind of do a little platforming without Cappy to get him back. But because we did a jump at the beginning, we were able to avoid the triggers for that. And if you trigger Klepto while still having Cappy, then the triggers essentially deactivate, allowing you to just not even have to deal with that process at all.
Nice.
So this is the last moon, and we're gonna do a little up throw, a dive here to get back up, and we're just gonna roll the Odyssey, and Lost is done.
All right then.
So now we're going into Metro. Metro is definitely it can be fun. I know a lot of people love Metro, like in their casual playthroughs, just because it's such a different kind of kingdom from anything that's ever been seen in a Mario game. But it also has some pretty cool speedrunning stuff as well. And there's a new clip in this in the boss fight in this first part of the kingdom, Night Metro, because we need to kill the Mecha Wiggler before we can access most of the kingdom, like in most of the moons, because they don't spawn until that fight is over. There was a clip that got discovered about a year ago that I don't think has been ever showcased in like a GDQ setting, so I'm really hoping I can get it. We're gonna do a little jump here. I might bonk. I didn't bonk, thankfully. That was really close.
Made me nervous.
It made me nervous. So we're just gonna go up to the city hall, which is gonna kind of just get us to where we need to be. We only collect 2 moons in Night Metro outside of the multi-moon we get for completing the Wiggler fight. We're gonna do some platforming here and kind of just spam A and B on this pole to just jump up it a bunch of times. And we're gonna collect this moon here. Then we're gonna do a pretty tight jump across City Hall here. If you mess this up, you lose like 8 years, I would say, approximately. So definitely don't want to do that.
Precisely 8 years.
Yeah. They timed it to be 8 years, I think. All right, and then hopefully I can get this clip here.
Really janky clip.
Yeah.
And it's similar to a moon clip.
Oh, no. Oh, okay, I didn't get it.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, it was really
very
close. So essentially how that clip is supposed to work is, it's very similar to a moon clip actually, but it's a damage clip instead. So we use the Mecha Wiggler kind of as our clipping device, so to speak. And so what happens is you're able to clip out of the fight, and while the Wiggler's in this kind of, you know, waiting phase where we can't actually damage it in any way, you go and collect a moon that is normally collectible in Night Metro, but you don't do it because it's super out of the way. So we collect that in mid-fight, and what that allows us to do is not have to collect that same moon in Day Metro. So the trick technically loses time in Night Metro because there's an extra moon animation and the cycles are a little bit slower. But then you save a bunch of time in Day Metro. So it kind of ends up being a net time save. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it, but still not a bad fight, and it doesn't really change too much in Day Metro. There'll be a slight route variation that I normally wouldn't have to do, but still shows off a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, you get to do slots.
Yeah, slots. We get to go gambling.
Let's go gambling.
Yeah. So Day Metro, I think. Oh, Day Metro isn't really super fancy in terms of like clips or anything, but there definitely is some cool movement. I did not mean to capture that. We're gonna do a capture warp right here. So we throw Cappy, then go in here, collect this moon, shake. And we're able to just instantly go back to the wire. And then I'm gonna do some really weird stuff here. Yeah.
What?
So that is one of the most bizarre tricks in the run. It's called Scooter Clip. Essentially, Nintendo put in some secret gyro feature on when you're driving the scooter, where if you turn your controller left and right, Mario gets nudged to like the left or the right. So what you have to do for that trick is literally turn your controller like 180 degrees down while you're using the scooter, and that little skew to the left from the gyro allows you to just like tap left when you're next to that box, and you can just completely clip through.
Love it.
Yeah, collect that moon without having to use an RC car, which is honestly harder than the clip itself, I feel like.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, so we just did a quick little gambling, except it's super rigged and we're able to just automatically win. And then we're gonna head into another sub area here. This one is on a cycle. I need to go fast enough to do a cool little capture on a bullet bill here.
And the camera he just did there, it's very precise, such that when he gets to this position here, the bill will be right up top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so the kind of mechanic behind that bullet bill capture is it's basically it's an insta capture, which essentially means that bullet bill is not supposed to be captured using one cap throw. You're supposed to hit it once to like remove its hat that makes it capturable, and then throw Cappy again to capture it. But if you throw Cappy and then kind of place Mario in a way to where the bullet bill's in between Mario and Cappy, you can kind of get Cappy to hit the bullet bill twice with one throw. And it ends up being very, very useful for that room specifically.
Yeah, basically, so Cappy will hit the bullet bill, and then Cappy will try to return to you, but as it's returning, it'll capture the bullet bill.
Oh, I get you now.
Exactly. All right.
It's like, how long does it take to figure out a trick like that? Just kind of random accident.
I honestly have no clue. I'm not really very good at finding like tricks or strats. What happens is somebody finds something and I'm just like, tell me what to do. that's basically that's
fair.
That's the extent to my abilities as a strat finder. So we just had one last little sub area here in Metro, and that is the 20 moons we needed. So we are done. We're officially basically halfway through. Leaving Metro is typically what's kind of considered the halfway point of the run. So we are heading into the back half. Lots of cool stuff left to be shown, though. Snow definitely has a really cool one. Also, like a fairly recent development, at least in comparison to a lot of the rest of the run. That moon that I mentioned earlier will come into play late into the kingdom. So that will be interesting, but not until we mash through some Cappy text. Cappy's like, I don't know. We don't really care. We're not real big fans of Cappy in this game. He helps us a lot, but he also does some really stupid things that we don't necessarily like. But I don't know. Feelings are mixed about him.
Respect that.
So we're gonna start Snow by terrorizing this Toad, who just wanted shelter from the snow, but we kind of had to interrupt him because we have a speedrun to do. And then we're going to enter Shiveria here, which is kind of the inside portion of the Snow Kingdom with these cute little animals. And that's where we'll be spending most of our time. Unfortunately, we won't be doing the race with these Shiverians, which is very sad, but fortunately it's just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, maybe in World Peace.
Maybe in World Peace.
Yeah.
So we're gonna grab a shot moon real quick. So we'll have one more to get later, but that's our second shot moon.
And this is actually the first route diversion in the ICC route, so the Ice Corner Clip route.
Yes.
You get the shot first, and then you go on the regular path here.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a specific reason for that, which we'll see when we get there. I'm gonna try and do a moon clip here. Looks good.
You got it. Yep.
And that's just gonna allow us to get into this room just a little bit quicker. Not a massive time save, but a nice one nonetheless. And so now we're in the sub room. We gotta avoid these blowy joeys, and we use that moving platform to get a really fast triple jump. And then we're gonna capture this guy here.
I believe they're called Typhoons. I don't think they're actually called Blowy Joeys.
No, they're not called blowy joeys, but that's just the better name for him.
I mean, true.
That is a fairly accepted headcanon right there.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping I could just get away with it completely, but it's
If
all
there's
good.
anything with Odyssey runners, it's their naming conventions.
Yeah, we're really good at naming
okay.
things. All right, so we're gonna head into this sub room, and we're gonna collect this story moon first. We're gonna do a little jump over here, and then I'm gonna set up for Ice Corner Clip, which Sonic mentioned, which I also mentioned earlier, is like maybe the hardest moon to obtain, quote unquote, in the run. I'm gonna have to do a first-person camera setup to line myself up like exactly with this corner of the wall, and hopefully clip right through. So we're gonna ledge grab here, and you just clip straight through that corner,
And wow.
and into and into this moon that you're normally supposed to collect 4 Goombas and jump on a switch that like kind of opens that up, but you can just kind of clip through that corner with a very, very precise setup.
Did you say precise? You made that look so clean, like so easy.
Yeah, it's a tough one too, because you use the right stick to kind of adjust your angle in first person, but gyro effects are also able to adjust your angle in first person. So you kind of have to kind of fight with both of those to get the exact like kind of setup you want. Thankfully, I was able to get it. There's been a lot of times where it does not go as well as that, so I'm definitely pretty happy about that.
Yeah, to really illustrate how precise that is, you have to be in a pretty exact position, and the camera, when you're in first person, can only move in like increments of like a few degrees at a time. So that angle that you need an exact like graph level of precision there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I just want to give you an update. It seems like Blowy Joey is now the canon for pretty much everyone watching.
Perfect.
So you have started a trend here.
Awesome. If you guys take away one thing from my run, I really wished it was that. So that's perfect.
All of the clips, all of the cool tricks. Nope, Blowy Joey. That's what you're for.
Amazing. Yeah, we're in Seaside Kingdom now. Seaside Kingdom, probably like one of the chillest kingdoms in the game. A lot of it's just cheap swimming, but there are going to be a few clips that I'm going to do with the cheap. Starting right here, hopefully. I'm going to bring a cheap over to a chest moon and use this chest to hopefully clip to the wall. Yep, so we clip through and grab the moon while out of bounds, and that's just going to allow us to go directly to this moon without having to kind of go through a tunnel that is a little out of the way, and we can stay out of bounds here and go instantly up to this moon instead of, like I said, going throughout that little tunnel there.
He also did the fast variation of that trick where you only bonk once. There's an easier method where you have to bonk twice with the fish and then shake to open the chest, but he only bonked once, which is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm going to do another clip right here. This one is a little bit different than the other one, but it's a fish going through a wall nonetheless. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. One more time. There we go.
Nice.
So I'm out of bounds here, and we're going to collect this moon out of bounds. And kind of like the platform clip in Sand, we're once again just completely antisocial with the Sphinx. We're supposed to talk to him to get into this little room here, but we don't want any of that. So
Not fair.
yeah, how that fish clip works is essentially around the kingdom there's like an invisible barrier that pushes you backwards if you try and swim into it with the cheap, but by uncapturing it and then backing up away from the wall with Mario and then recapturing that cheap, the game essentially kind of doesn't realize that you're past the invisible barrier. So when you recapture, you're able to kind of speed directly past the barrier and go out of bounds. And yeah, that is it with Seaside. Luncheon is honestly an insane kingdom. Top levels Luncheon, easily one of the hardest kingdoms in the run. There's a route variation that top runners will do that I will show off here. It's extremely difficult. What a less experienced runner would do they would do the spirit boss fight near the beginning of this kingdom and kind of progress the story as a way to collect some extra moons. But we're going to do what's called spiritless, which means we completely skip the spirit boss fight when you're not supposed to, which creates a ton of really interesting kind of mechanics in the kingdom. So I'm going to do the jump right here. This is the spirit arena. We're going to just jump around it. And we're through. So what this kind of means for us is certain things in the kingdom are not spawned, like potaboos, and then certain like just kind of mountains and platforms and such that would normally be unlocked by completing the story. It also means that some moons just don't spawn, so we are way more limited with the moons we have to collect. But in turn, we don't have to sit through a bunch of cutscenes and slow boss fights and such. So it ends up being quite a bit faster, but it's also very, very difficult. We're gonna go gambling again here.
Yeah, for example, Slots is one of the moons that is not in the normal route, but is in the spiritless route.
Gotcha.
Because it's a sort of slow moon.
Right. But beggars cannot be choosers when it comes to this route. We're gonna go up here, get this moon, and we're gonna do a nice little roll cancel off this pillar. Let Cappy come back to us, get a cap return jump, and get this moon. Normally you'd have a potaboo to travel to the sub area, but we don't have one since it's despawned, so we have to kind of use lava boost to get over here.
He just did something really difficult that I can't do.
Yeah, I did what's known as a lava vault, which it's a very precise way to keep your speed while bouncing on the lava. It doesn't really save too much, but I like going for it. It looks cool, which sometimes is all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a trend that Luce is just doing these really hard tricks, just sliding them under the radar as this is talking. It's like, well,
he did. He did Snowdrim earlier, and which is like, it used to be pretty hard, but like now I just don't even mention it.
Yeah, this game has evolved a lot. We've gotten very, very, very good at a lot of tricks in this game. Not at this jump though, apparently. But it's all good. We're gonna get this turnip, and we're gonna try and bring this turnip back to the pot in the town because that'll get us a moon. And there's also another turnip right by the pot, so we'll use that to collect 2 moons pretty quickly. So we're just gonna throw this guy over here, then activate this one, throw him in, and then throw the other one in. We are cooking.
Nice, nice.
Literally.
Exactly.
I think that was the joke.
Yes.
Yes.
That joke was very spicy. I love it.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna enter the shop here, get our final shop moon of the run, and then I'm gonna do a jump that I'm not gonna really speak on until after. I'll just kind of it's better to not be explained until after. I'll let it speak for itself for now.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was it. You might be wondering why are there random invisible blocks in the middle of the sky that you can just jump on for no reason? Essentially, because we skipped Spiritless, there's supposed to be a story moon there that you can collect, which opens up more of the kingdom. And so usually what happens is the part of the kingdom that you unlock rises from the ground, but for some reason there's invisible blocks that are supposed to be in a certain spot that don't rise up from the ground. They just sit there. So you're able to use those to your advantage and just cross that very large gap to get some other moons that we need.
And there's some people in chat mentioning slope vaults and going, no!
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, slope vaults is kind of the next, it's already getting kind of used by some people sparingly, but it's kind of the next development in like the top level Odyssey scene. There's a way, that jump I just did, there's a way to avoid it by doing 2, what I believe to be frame perfect vaults across like the left side of like, there's like some mountains that you can do some vaults on, but very hard. And if you don't get either of the frame perfect vaults, you just die. There's no saving it. So because of that, and the fact that it only saves about 4 to 5 seconds, it's not very popular yet in the run, but there have been some runners that are getting pretty consistent at it. So there is a chance that it gets like popularized soon, but for me, not now.
Fair. And apparently it was one of those people requesting it was one Lucid Junior.
Oh yes. Shout out to Lucid Junior. I met him in real life at a convention, and everyone that came up to us thought that we were brothers. So he became Lucid Junior.
That's fair.
To me, they didn't look like brothers.
I don't really
saw
think
them in
we
person
do
too.
either, but it's just, what can you do if the comparisons are made? It's out of my hands at that point.
Fair.
All right, so we're in Ruined Kingdom. Ruined is basically just kind of the auto-scroller of the run. There are some small ways to optimize it though. Actually, I switched to Joy-Cons for Ruined. Joy-Cons are theoretically the better controller to use for this game over the Pro Controller for a couple reasons. One being that they can do down throws at any point just by shaking the controller downwards. The Pro-Con cannot do that. The only way you can do a down throw with the Pro Controller is by like ground pounding and then hitting the X button or the Y button. But Joy-Cons, you can just down throw at any point, which is definitely very helpful. And also, it allows you to do what's known as a motion control cap throw a lot easier than you can do it on Pro Controller, which is what I'm utilizing for the Ruin fight here. For some reason, doing motion control cap throws allows you to just pluck these swords a lot faster than you'd normally be able to. So I believe I'm one of 2 runners that actively switches to Joy-Cons for Ruined while using the Pro Controller for the rest of the game. And then I believe, the only runner that switches again for another strat in Bowser's Kingdom, which is coming up. Insanely difficult movement that requires the Joy-Cons that I will hopefully try and get very cleanly for you guys, because I really don't enjoy using the Joy-Cons, but they save time.
And actually, a question about that with your switching, because I couldn't tell looking at the screen that you'd switch controllers. Like, is it on like a player 2, or how are you able to switch so quickly?
Yeah, so I keep the controllers off throughout most of the run until I get to this kingdom, and then turning the controllers on, yeah, it like recognizes it as a player 2, but it just has the same controls as if you were player 1. So you're able to just turn them on and use them however you need, and then you can turn them off right after, and really no harm, no foul, which is definitely interesting. But it definitely benefits us, which is awesome. Yeah. So we only have 2 more kingdoms left. We're in Bowser's now, and how the kind of deal with Bowser's is we need to complete the whole story, because now Bowser, like, we're supposed to like fight Bowser here. Like, this is supposed to be like the end of the game, like the big hurrah here. So we need to complete various kind of story elements, and then we need to collect 2 extra moons as well, because there is an 8 moon requirement to leave the kingdom. So that's kind of what we'll be doing for this kingdom. Starting with killing this ogre gives us the first story moon. And then we're going to go to the shards area, which is where I'll be switching to Joy-Cons. Right after I capture this wire, I'll switch and then hopefully do some very difficult movement. And that'll look cool and everyone will be like, whoa! Or maybe I failed and everyone's like, no! We'll see.
Noting that we're switching to Joy-Cons because you can only down throw on the Joy-Cons.
Gotcha.
And we're going to use the down throw right about here. Coming up really close. Right there. And he got it.
What?
Ooh, oh, that is not easy.
That was perfect.
Wow, that was like one of the best I've actually ever done that, probably. That was great. So essentially what I did there is I did a jump to kind of scale on that roof, but before I jumped on that roof, I did a down throw. And I held it until a specific time, so I'm collecting 1 shard with Mario, and then as I'm rolling across, Cappy kind of gets dragged along with me because he can't get back to me because the wall's blocking kind of Cappy's path to Mario. And in that process, it runs directly into a shard, which is... I don't even know how that got figured out, but shout outs to whoever came up with that one. We're doing a Harriet fight now, and we're gonna do some levitation. So we got a bomb kind of just floating here. This is another trick that I don't even really necessarily understand how it works. I think it has something to do with you kind of hitting 2 bombs at her at like very similar times. So the second one just kind of sits there. And what that allowed me to do is I didn't have to wait for Harriet to throw more bombs on the second phase. I used the bomb from the previous phase to just instantly hit her right out of her second phase.
Yeah, and fun fact, that strat is called Tsar Bomba, which is the name of a hydrogen aerial bomb, the most deadly nuclear weapon that has ever been detonated.
As I said, we're very good with naming in the Odyssey community. Just banger after banger.
Somebody pulled out the deep lore for that one.
Yeah, you gotta dig deep for that one. Also, we visited our friend Topper again, gave him a quick little spanking, and then we're done with the bunny segment of Bowser's. And now that's all that's left for us to do in Bowser's is collect 1 more moon, and then we're gonna do the Mecha Brutal fight, which is definitely one of the coolest fights in the game, because you just completely destroy the intended method of the fight and just completely brush it aside. And it's definitely a spectacle to watch. But before that, we're gonna go ahead, a little triple jump here, and enter this room, get this moon right here. And we're gonna go ahead and not take the pipe and just go ahead and exit from the outside. This is like my one contribution to the run. I discovered that it was faster to leave through the way you came rather than taking the pipe, so.
You know, you say one contribution, but you actually kind of discovered the strat that we use for Tsar Bomba now, like the Harriet strat.
Oh, I guess I forgot about that. I actually did. Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, I did. I'm trying to be humble, I guess. My apologies. And yeah, we're gonna go into this Mecha Brutal fight here and kind of just completely bypass it. You're supposed to use a Pokio capture to poke bombs into the Mecha Wiggler, which will like kind of knock him down, and then you climb up the Mecha Brutal using the bird, and ends up being a very slow fight. But you can just platform on top of him, and you can just hit these bubbles with Mario using really fast and precise movement. So now the mech's in a running phase, and we're gonna do a pretty hard strat to hit these last two. Gonna hit this one and line up a spin pound here. And target acquired.
Ow.
That's
pretty difficult.
Target acquired is the name of that strat. That one I like a lot, actually. That's a good name. Target acquired. They were cooking with that one.
There's also Topper acquired.
Yes,
He did a bit
Topper
earlier.
acquired, which is like a slightly faster way of eliminating the topper bubble, where you land directly on it as opposed to like kind of landing on the side. Kind of less significant, and the name's honestly not as cool because it's just topper and not like an actual, it's
Target.
yeah, but there's only so many target acquireds you can have in the run, right? So we did what we could.
That's fair.
And
Yeah, it's kind of a derivation of the strat name, Target Acquired.
Yeah. And yeah, Bowser's is done. We have one more kingdom left. That was supposed to be the last hurrah, but Bowser decided to go to the moon to have a wedding with Peach. So we gotta shut that down real fast. So there's no more moons to collect in the run. We've collected all 124 that we need. All we're gonna do is do some movement up to the chapel. We're gonna do a little boss fight, and then we're gonna have a little escape sequence at the end with a really, really difficult trick. I mentioned that trick in Wooded called Maze Clip that I said was the hardest trick in the run. If it's not that one, it's definitely this one in Moon, and it's in the last minute of the run. So on PB pace, you go to that trick, it is not easy at all. When your heart's racing,
I love that.
but it makes it all the more satisfying when you do get it, and hopefully I will be able to get it. But
Chet, now's the time to give all of the energy to Lucid right now.
yes. We have a few more minutes before we get there. We're gonna do a little triple jump here. We have moon gravity in Moon Kingdom. Makes sense, right? It just kind of the mechanics are a little bit different. Mario's a little bit floatier. It allows us to do some pretty cool stuff. We're gonna actually do, a very infamous trick in the run that most people know about. There's a moon cave right here that you're supposed to go down for casual playthrough. Takes about 3 minutes to complete, but we're gonna do what's known as moon cave skip. Gonna throw Cappy here and do a wall jump, and we're gonna be able to completely bypass that.
Ooh, that was close.
It was very close. I wasn't going to say anything, but I was about a foot away from just completely falling and probably dying, which would have not been good, obviously. So now we're going to interrupt this wedding here and defeat Bowser. I did not make that. Oops. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to make it to Bowser there to hit him before he jumps away, but fortunately we're not able to. But a fun fact I like to point out, there's a phase here where Bowser kind of spits fire at you, and the fire looks like super menacing and like super, like the hitbox is super large, but it's literally just a floor hitbox, so I can just bonk or do like the dumbest movement ever, and you can just jump over it like that. It's really funny, like coming up with interesting ways to get just enough height to bypass the fire. I think you can do it with just I think you can do it with even just like a roll boost, or just like any variety of movement. Or you can just you can be really bad and run into it. Anyway,
just face tank it, it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that I took damage there. I am going to be doing an intentional damage right here that just kind of gives me a better setup for these fast hats, which kind of blocks that jumping phase that I just mentioned. But yeah, nothing too bad. We're just gonna punch him, and that is it for the fight. Now all we have to do is capture Bowser and break down the pillars at the end of the game, and we will be good to go. we got to do a little bit of Bowser movement platforming action. And by that, I mean we break this and then kind of run in a straight line for 10, 15 seconds. Very, very exciting stuff. It does kind of work. It's kind of nice though, because right after this, I'm going to be doing the trick I mentioned. It's called 2DSS, which stands for 2D section skip. And it's very hard, so I'm going to try and get it right here for you guys. Okay, we got it.
Wow.
Okay, so that trick, essentially how that works is normally you enter that 2D section, and as you scale the 2D section, different sections of that wall kind of break off and go down, which creates a very tiny platform that you can kind of just jump on with Bowser. And it's very precise and requires super specific angles, and messing it up definitely kind of spells disaster. So I was able to get it, thankfully, and now all we have to do is break these pillars. And we're basically done. I'm gonna swipe this rock, and then timing ends when Bowser and Mario shoot out of the wire. There's gonna be like a bunch of shaking, and then once I officially shoot, that's time. So time is gonna stop now. Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. GG.
58, what was 58?
About 58. 58
58-13. Wow, that's a lot better than I expected, honestly.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, that was I'm very happy with how that went. I didn't really do anything. I didn't make any crazy mistakes, which I was definitely pretty awesome. There's a couple tricks I wish I could have shown off that I didn't get to, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I definitely had a good time playing. So
Absolutely. Chad is losing it right now. They had a nice little run prediction going to see what kind of time we were getting there, but that blew my mind. Your skill with this game is absolutely off the wall. But yeah, take as much time as you want, both of you. Who are you? Where can they find you? What are you playing right now? Give all your shout outs.
yeah, my name's Lucid. I'm currently grinding this very category. I'm currently 4th place in any percent, and I'm trying to work towards at least short-term 2nd place in the world. So twitch.tv/Lucid is where you can find me. I'm on a break from school right now, so I'm trying to stream as much as I can. And I would love to have you guys there. Yeah, that's kind of it for me, Sonic.
I just wanted to mention real quick that was less than 2 minutes off of your personal best time.
Yeah.
So if anybody didn't say that already, but it's very impressive. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, my PB is a 56:48, so I was about a minute 25. Yeah, it's pretty good for no reason.
Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/psionic_. But really, Lucid, very impressive run. Thank you for having me as commentator. Thank you very much.
Of course, man. Of course. Thank you for coming on. Thank you to everyone at home for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for blessing me with your screen for an hour. Shout outs to the boys. Shout outs to the discount boys. Shout out to the string beans. And just thank you to everyone in the Odyssey community that has allowed me to get on a stage like this and perform a game that I have very near and dear to my heart. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for showcasing that absolutely amazing run. Again, chat, give another round of GG's. That was fantastic, and I think it was summed up best. And just seeing, great to see the flow state mastery, because yeah, you did a masterful showcase there, straight up. But friends, we have one more break that I need to send you to, but before we do that, I have to give you 2 tiny little tasks. First off, open up a new tab, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out our Season 4 schedule. And you can check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. Also, if you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, guess what? The Yeti has you covered. Go to theyeti.com/AGDQ and you can actually look up one of their shirts, which happens to be the 2024 Season 4 shirt for Hotfix. It is super cute and has all of the current shows on there. So take a look at those, and then when we come back, we are going to be heading on to another flow state game in the form of Super Mario 64. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back, gamers, for the final run of tonight's Super Mario Express Lane. Before we head on to that run, one more thing I have to mention, and that is, if you missed out on any of our shows or events, we gotcha. Head over and check out our VODs over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And if you're watching us in those VODs, hello from the past. What you should be doing is going to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick and watch us live, so you can chat with all the cool people in chat right now. And you can even potentially chat with our runners, like our final runner of the night, who's going to be running 16-star Super Mario 64. It is Evasion. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hi, GDQ.
Hi.
I'm going to be running 16-star, as Suzuka said earlier. It's probably the most iconic Mario 64 category, I'd say. It has, the infamous BLJ trick, like just all these other things that are just infamous in not just Mario speedrunning, but just speedrunning in general.
Yeah, if you are, whenever you're ready to go, by all means, we can get things started.
Yeah. I guess I can
do a countdown. Yeah, introduce your commentary.
Oh, yeah. I have Remedy here with me on commentary.
Hi, I'm Remedy. I speedrun and I do YouTube.
And I have a Form Frame with me as well, another Mario speedrunner. Streams a lot.
Thank you. Yes, hello. I am Form Frame. I also speedrun Mario. I also do YouTube, mainly YouTube Shorts. But yeah.
I think that's probably everything that we need to know. So I guess we can do a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So while we're on the intro, I'd just like to talk about a little controversial topic that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about, intro skip and Mario 64.
Yes.
Speak
to that.
It's been something that's you've really heard a lot more of since, like, I'd say 2023, where I'd say a lot of new runners who are coming into the category see the intro as a big waste of time and that they just want people to jump directly into the gameplay, like, say, Super Mario Sunshine with its intro skip. I personally like the downtime. I'd say it gives me clarity between runs. It's about 50 seconds. It's enough to get a thing of water, text, loved ones, pet your cat, do stuff like that. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
That's a great explanation.
I like the very specific
Vision, how do you feel about that?
He's apparently just did Lactus skip.
He did just do Lactus skip. Yeah.
It gives me a bit of time so I can relax between attempts. Gives me time to cool down.
Evasion's going to get ready to line up LBLJ, known as Lobby Backwards Long Jump. This is just setting up momentum at the beginning section of the castle in order to clip into Dark World, which skips the 8-star requirement From here, he's going to be attempting a red coin cycle known as Shigeru, coined by one of the early pioneers of Mario 64 speedrunning, known as Shigeru. It, if done optimally, it can be done in, I think, 48 seconds, 47.
Yeah.
And it saves a lot of time early on. Crap. Oh, sorry, I'm blanking.
It does save time.
fine.
Yeah, collecting the 8 coins, and especially the way he does do it saves a lot. Of time. And he almost falls, but he saves
That was
himself.
close.
Evasion is
So,
a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Good save.
So a lot of the times doing these red coin cycles, especially when you're starting out, you might worry about like, I would say for anybody wanting to get into LBLJ, the first thing I'd suggest is just mastering the red coin cycles. A lot of your time loss really comes from how well you play, I'd say.
Well, I'm gonna be swapping my controller to a Horipad Mini
And the
and
reason,
not destroy my. I got Bowser Dance. There's actually a 10% chance of that happening,
Oh, nice.
and
and it saves about a second, I think.
yeah, roughly around there. So like ideally you would want in the beginning of a run to have the fastest red coin cycle as well as a Bowser Dance. Just especially in 16 star, which is such a tight category. You're running it. I would say 16, 1, and 0 are when runners are playing at their absolute peak. You're honing in on lag reduction, which is essentially doing either camera movements to reduce lag, which Evasion will probably do one here on the way to Womps. It's not really that significant as far as time save, but in a category as fast paced as 16, it really is like one of the highlights.
Okay. I'm gonna cut you off because I'm gonna be going for Salt Cannonless, which is a fast version. It's a pretty fast version. You'll see.
And bang, it's
God.
amazing. So Salt Cannonless was coined by, I believe it's a tasser named Salt and Ginger.
Yeah, Salt and Ginger.
Yeah, Salt and Ginger. It was discovered a couple years ago, and there are 3 variations of Cannonless: OG, Texture, and Salt Cannonless. Texture, if done optimally, you can do it in about 11 seconds. Salt Cannonless saves 2 seconds over that, and now Evasion is going for something known as Double Jump Owlless, and did not get it.
I'm gonna be backing that up with just Triple Jump.
So, I mean, Owlless is pretty straightforward. At the end of the stage, usually runners would wake up an owl to grab the star, then ride the owl to the cage. Owlless just completely negates that.
It's about a 4-second time save, if I'm not mistaken. But double jump Alice is even faster, which he was attempting originally.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm sure some of the people are wondering, for those who haven't really watched runs of 16 star in a while, LBLJ is it's considered to be the fastest route. Before that, we didn't really do LBLJ. You go to Womps first, or you go to BOB, then Womps, then CCM, then Dark World. But LBLJ saves, how much is it? It's like
about 50 seconds,
about,
right?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's about more closer to 35 to 40.
Yeah. And
Commentator making up numbers.
Or just making up statistics on the fly. Very nice. And now we'll be heading to basement, where Evasion will be heading into SSL, Lethal Lava Land, and HMC to grab.
I'll be going for a trick called Tama Plus, which is a more advanced version of the regular pillarless strat.
I'll let you do that. Oh my gosh. And just like that was Tama Plus. So pillarless, the name essentially comes from, in SSL, there are 4 pillars that you need to, I think, just stand on. Mm-hmm. And once you do so, the top of the pillar will come off, or the pyramid, will come off and expose the top, so you can get it and grab that star. Pillarless, essentially using that bomb, you can just clip up there. And this one's pretty straightforward. It's just, what is this start? Talon. I don't know why I don't know that.
Evasion's actually doing extremely well right now. Some of these strats are very hard.
Yeah.
Basically there I just ran up the side of one of the pillars and then long jumped off of one of the flag guys so I could reach the Talon earlier.
Of course.
And the final star in SSL is shining atop the pyramid. This is Form Frame's favorite star.
I do love this star.
Really likes this one.
Before starting any
loves-
speedruns, love doing 10 minutes of this and then starting runs. Gets
And then he went.
Now,
gets it all warmed up.
now I'll be entering LLL while I'll be doing side hop,
Now,
which is a strat that is used to skip the rolling log
yeah.
start. So I'll be going for a size triple jump, a wall kick.
He gets it.
Now, for anybody who's wanting to know the technical side, for that trick to work, you need to get a second frame wall kick, I'm pretty sure, to have the most consistency. It's a very precise
Second and
trick.
third frame.
Yep. And one thing I will note is the difficulty only ramps up after we get into the basement section, really. I mean, time and time again, you're just doing hard star after hard star. You know, I mean, if you want a lower time, the world record, I'm sorry, I'm like reading chat as like this is going on. The world record is currently a 14:35 by none other than Green Suiji, who, you've seen the Carl Jobs video.
Has record in every single Mario 64
category.
Yeah, he's the first runner, I believe, in SM64 history to hold all 5 records at the same time. The only other person to come close to that was Shigeru, who held 4 out of 5 world records back in the early 2000s, 2010s, I think.
Now, for those that don't know, what are those 5 world records?
So there are 5 main leaderboard categories for Super Mario 64. Those are 120 star, 70 star, 16 star, 1 star, and 0 star. Each with their own varying like tricks and strats. 16 star, I'd say, is like the entry level as far as like, I guess, getting into
It's the most, it's like the most popular. It's the one you'll see on like, when anybody talks about Mario 64. 16 star is always like it's the one people talk about or refer to. Like big streamers, if they ever do Mario 64, they'll be doing 16 star almost 99% of the time.
Okay.
And just like that.
I'm wrapped up with LLL, and I'll be going into HMC. Well, I'll be doing a pretty interesting trick. It's called a box jump. Basically, I'll be doing a triple jump over the barriers of the wall, and I'll clip through part of the stage that will allow me to just land on one of the stars.
I'll keep quiet for him to do this trick.
Got that angle. There we go.
Now the trick.
Basically, I just clipped over the ceiling because there's no ceiling in some parts of HMC.
Yeah, and another thing to note is in that trick, you have to be careful about exactly when you line up the star, because if you go over the star as you're heading directly like toward it, you'll hit a death barrier and die immediately. And it's one of the main hurdles when learning that specific strat. A lot of the strats that Evasion are going for are considered to be like mid to high level strats. Like if you want a 15-minute time in 16 star, you're cranking out these kinds of strats.
Gotcha.
Which Evasion does have. Evasion has a 1542.
Yes. Evasion is a very skillful player. He's very good. I'm very jealous. He's amazing. He's amazing.
And we're all very envious of him and his skill.
He loves bragging about it. No,
he loves laughing at our 17-minute times.
Yeah.
So Evasion is going to go ahead and clear out HMC with a star known as Watch for Rolling Rocks. It's pretty self-explanatory if you like watch the gameplay. I'm sorry, that sounds really mean. It's
yeah, if you maybe
essentially
put
those-
your eyes to the screen, you'll be able to see.
I'm so sorry. No, so
I'm gonna be going for a trick called Mips Clip that allows me to skip past the 30-star door in the basement.
there are many
So
variations.
this is a requirement for 16-star. What marks the difference between 1 and 0 star? Able to grab him.
Maps Clip starting out
It's
is actually a pretty tricky star to get the hang
Yeah,
of.
this is. You gotta line it up just perfect.
This is definitely something you get the feeling for as well, because I remember just failing and resetting on that forever and ever.
Very nice
Yeah.
that's not insta clip. I don't want to misname the trick.
That was a quick clip. That was something. That was fast. Faster than
That
mine.
was a clip, all right.
That was a clip.
So again, like Evasion mentioned before, the reason why 16 star is the category that it is because you're tasked with collecting 15 stars as fast as possible, which spawns in MIPS and allows you to do the MIPS clip. And then the final 16th star comes from this level, Dire Docks, where you grab the front substar to spawn in the Fire Sea entrance. And then
Yeah, because this is technically any percent. So Mario's a little weird, like in the sense that 16 star was decided like it's an any percent, but it was so popular that it stayed. Because 0 and 1 star are also any percent in a way, but everybody really likes 16 star. So it's always just kind of stayed here at this arbitrary number because it used to be 31 star, I believe, and I think it was something before that as well. But
Innovation just got a trick known as pole skip, which, if I remember correctly, works because when you jump towards that block, the game, Mario's like, there's a ceiling above it, and Mario, like, him reaching for that little block, that little yellow block there, automatically makes the game think that he's reaching for that ceiling, and thus will, like, upward him to that ceiling to get a cycle known as Ultimate, which I think I don't think he got.
No, I just got early cycle.
Yeah, he got early cycle, and the reason why it's called early cycle is because those lifting elevators, if you get there too late, you have to wait. It's about an 8-second time loss. And this Bowser throw is actually, I would say it's probably the easiest out of the three.
yes, you don't have to spin him as
If you miss it though, it loses the most amount of time.
Yes.
Why?
Because Bowser will fall down and will.
there'll be a whole animation.
I'm blanking.
So after this, Evasion will be going for the staple trick and 16 star known as the backwards long jumps. For those of you who don't know, Mario's speed in the like original Japanese and US versions, his backwards speed is not capped. He has a forward speed, I think, of like 50 something, but his backward speed isn't. So when you chain a bunch of long jumps on a slope that can, be chained, his speed can just be built up indefinitely. And there are a lot of variations to these BLJs. And
And you use that to just clip through walls and doors.
yes.
So I did not get it that time.
But he gets
Holy
immediately the second time.
Love that.
So right there, you're clipping through the 50 star door, and this next star is the 70 star door, which is the required amount of stars to complete or to get to the final Bowser stage. Very nice.
Wow.
Entering bits.
Thing I love about 16 star is it's so like fast paced and engaging that when somebody is on a run, you can't help but just
Just just watch it.
yeah. So I believe Evasion is going to be going for a trick known as right side, which is essentially there's like a precise triple jump that you do on these. There's like these little wooden blocks right here that allow you to skip a good chunk of the stage. And he got it. Holy moly.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, he was a little too late for like the triple jump that puts you on that platform early. But here we go. And all Evasion has left now is to close out 3 Bowser throws. And he will... Well, I'm not going to tell him his pace because I don't want to make him nervous.
Yeah.
But
Making
just,
me nervous.
you got it.
saying that.
That's 1. It's 2.
2.
Got a bit of a bad angle there.
It's all right.
That's
And
free.
that's 3. And that is the 16 star run.
And I'm pretty sure Evasion just...
Ooh. Well,
I have to look at the time, but man.
Time will be stopped as soon as I touch the big star. By the way, so time.
wow. That
Holy moly.
was a little bit over
Holy.
60 minutes. That was absolutely amazing, though.
That was phenomenal.
That was insane. You played incredible, dude. Look at that. No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1608.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like, oh gosh, it's always so, even if it's not a PB, just closing out like what you feel is like a really good run, even like if the time isn't that crazy, it's like, it's just one of the best feelings ever.
And anytime in like a marathon setting or a showcase setting, that was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. You did so good, Evasion.
Yeah, you did really awesome. Dude, the pressure can't stop this, man.
Nope, not at all. As you can tell, Evasion looks so like terrified right now and not absolutely chill. But yes, GG's chat is absolutely loving you with the GG's. Again, please tell everybody, all three of you, who you are. Where can they find you? What are you currently playing right now?
So, I mainly stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/evasion. I mainly speedrun this game. Sometimes I'll speedrun another game called Wubsy's Amazing Adventure, which is it's a flash game. It's a platform flash game. You can find me on Twitter, which is Evasion, but with an N, Blue Sky Evasion, and I think that's pretty much all the social media I have. What you, Remedy?
So again, my name is Remedy. I am currently on a hiatus from Twitch, but I am a full-time YouTuber. I have a channel with just about to break 12,000 subscribers. I'm on Blue Sky too. If you ever want to reach out and collab, I make content that's not in any relation to speedrunning whatsoever. But yeah.
I am Formframe. I also stream on Twitch and on YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. I stream Mario mainly, but I do all sorts of different types of games and tournaments and events, like running Mario tournaments and Evasion, who's ran in them and actually won them as well. Evasion's actually won a handful of tournaments. He is an incredible runner. Shout out to Evasion and the hard work he puts in at Mario. Shout out to Remedy as well for co-commentating and knowing so many more facts about the game than I did. But yeah, that is me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks to GDQ for allowing me to do this run and everything.
Yeah, thanks to GDQ for allowing us to commentate in the first place.
Allowing us, hooligans,
deal.
into the booth.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. We all loved it, and chat was popping off. Deservedly so. All of you are absolutely amazing. So give GG's one more time to Evasion and the entire crew. But for right now, that is it. We are done with Express Lane, and I had one of my co-hosts decide to say hi. So Freya is saying hi before she goes back for sleeps. But yeah, tune in 2 weeks where you're going to have a special New Year's Eve Express Lane starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. So we're a little bit earlier that year, so y'all can get ready for the going into 2025. But if you're just getting here and you missed out on any of the Awfully Silly or Express Lane, do not worry, because stay tuned and we're going to replay both shows right after this. And make sure you're tuning in tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for Crosshair and Speedruns from the Crypt. So